Hey guys, welcome to our Wednesday webinar. Today we have Ashley Hughes with us. We are so excited. She just went Ambassador Diamond a couple months ago, and we're so proud of her and so excited. We just wanted to ask her a few questions and get some business tips from her. We're going to first start out. Ashley, we're going to have you share your story. Tell us a little bit about you for those who don't know you and who don't follow you. Tell us kind of your journey with It Works so far.
Okay, so I joined It Works 2 years ago, March 28th of 2013, and I joined honestly just for a few $100s a month. I saw the very first wrap result on Facebook from one of my friends liked the girl's picture, so it showed up in my newsfeed, and that to me, I'm like, never quit posting because you never know who's watching. Like, because someone liked it and I ended up in my newsfeed, I saw the results and I wanted to try it. So I knew how bad I wanted to try it. I drove for 30 minutes in a blizzard to get the wrap and put it on, and I saw results. So I signed up that night as a distributor, and you know, I was just like, I'm gonna get to Ruby. I didn't know how long it was gonna take me. And I did it all the way through just honestly posting on social media. So I got to Ruby in 23 days. And once I got to Ruby, I was like, okay, I made it. Like, I'm not going to even try to go diamond. I didn't even want to know what that looked like. So I did Ruby for 4 months. And after I had sat there for a little bit, they actually had just come back out with a good bonus. And I remember looking at my husband and I was like, I'm going to try to get that. And he thought I was super crazy. So I'm like, I'm going to do it. And I think that just having that attitude of I'm doing it no matter what, that's kind of the advice I give to anybody, because it was that month that I decided it didn't matter what it took, I was going to do it. So I was doing wrap parties. I was doing team trainings. That's something I had never done before. I felt almost inadequate because I'm like, well, I'm just a Ruby. But honestly, you can't get to other ranks if you're not acting as if you're already a diamond or an ambassador. So I started doing trainings, anything I could do, and I hit diamond on the last day of that month. Got that $10,000 bonus, and then has just been working ever since. So we hit ambassador on June 28th, I think, actually. So just a few months ago, and we've just been consistently doing the same thing we've been doing since day one, the steps to success, printing those off, and that's where we are today.
Nice. Well, thank you. Your story, I know, has inspired a lot of people, and a lot of people follow you and love you. A few of the questions that people have, the first being how, and I think this is a question that people have for everybody, because I think we're all still trying to figure it out, is how do you balance life? You have twin boys, and your husband works his business with you, but how do you guys, how do you work as a team and balance, your life and your business and everything else that you have going on?
Yeah, so, we do try to set aside time. I try to say after 9 o'clock, we don't do anything. 9 o'clock is still early for me. So me and Thomas will just spend time together after 9. Of course, if there's an emergency, then I'll respond. But we do like to have set times in the day that I am working the business. And so if my kids need me, I will drop what I'm doing. If it's, they come first. So if they need me for something, I will put my phone down, put everything down, and I will go spend time with them. So I do feel like still today, even as ambassador, honestly, it's just 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there that I'm working the business. It's not like, 8 hours,
right?
A full-time job. And I'm sure you feel that too. It's just kind of like consistent all throughout the day. Yeah. But I really have just found if I can set aside specific time, like when I wake up, I usually wake up before anybody else. So that is, I usually spend 1 to 2 hours in the morning. So that is kind of consistent of, a block of time that I will spend working the business. But I will spend my morning responding to people, going through emails. I get on my team page, I will just be messaging with people and helping them that way. So usually in the morning is when I am working the most, and then kind of just responding through people or with people throughout the day.
Okay, I like that. I like that you kind of give yourself that jump start in the morning, and then you can kind of work throughout the day and kind of let it trickle in. With those new distributors that you do get, what do you typically do to get them started? How often are you keeping up on them? How often are you contacting them? What do you typically do to kind of get them off to a good start and kind of give them that jump start that they need?
Yes. So the very first thing I do is I made it's a training thing that I made myself, but it's like day 1 through 4. So what I've done is I just broke down what I felt like was the most important information for a distributor to know day 1, then day 2. So they're not getting like a whole bunch of information at once and they don't know what's the most important thing. So day 1, I kind of walk them through how to log in. And there's even a video that I have playing that shows, with a mouse, this is where you click login and how you type it in. So I have them logging in and starting on their training videos. And then day 2, I don't even remember. It's been a minute since I watched them. But I'll go through even breaking down definitions of BV, LC, these code words they're going to need to get familiar with. So I do that for 4 days. Typically after the 4th day, they generally know they're not going to know everything, but they're going to know where to go and find what they're looking for. For instance, if they need help with making some posts, in my team page, I have a photo album of post ideas, even with captions, so they can just kind of get used to the hang of it. So they know where to find everything, and that kind of helps. But if they don't live in my area, which is that's usually the case most of the time, I will do Skype with them a lot. I actually have a Skype training with one of my teams in Texas, a different team, tonight. But I will do Skypes with them as often as they need me to. When they do their launch party, I always Skype in at that. And once they get to the distributor side of the party pad, that's when I will call in. And then I'll go through the distributor side for them. So then I can share my story and they can hear from me. So it's like I'm there. But that's what I do for distributors that don't live here. Ones that do, I will make sure they set up a launch party within 1 to 2 weeks, whatever they're most comfortable with. And I usually have product that I can sample because, they don't have everything. So I just bring that. But that's typically what we do, how I get people started.
Okay. I think it's important to give them the tools. The company has given us tools too, but it's kind of nice to give them, those tools to jumpstart, kind of give them. I love that you give them posts, say, okay, post this. I think a lot of people are more comfortable starting out on Facebook if they knew exactly what to post. So I like that. As far as posting, what are some tips that you have, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, what are your tips? What are the things that you do with social media to build your business each day?
So with posting, and I taught this to my team a lot, honestly, the words that you use when you post can make or break your post. You could post an amazing result picture, but if you sound like really needy or please buy my wraps, like no one's buying wraps from me, please buy, then people are like, well, obviously they don't work or something. Otherwise she wouldn't be begging people to get rid of them. So I always say, just share an experience. So when you're posting a result picture, it can be anyone's or yourself, just in the comment, like in the post, the actual caption, just share what the experience was with that person. Like, she loved her results. This was her first wrap. I can't wait till she does all 4. That, you don't even sound like you're selling anything. You're just sharing an experience. And then naturally people are going to want that same experience. So that's when you're going to get more people contacting you. Yeah. So even when it comes to posting about the business, it can be something as, small as I was able to pay for $25 in gas because I sold a wrap today. Mm-hmm. You don't need to necessarily say join my team for $99 for people to get interested in joining your team. It's more, this is the experience I had, and it can be anything, even from the friends you've made to the money you've made. But just sharing experiences will get you way more interest in the business or the products.
Right.
So that's what I do.
Yeah, for sure. I think definitely being real about it and not like constantly like, join my team, it's $99. I think that makes a big difference. I know for me, I saw people interested in my business when I started posting why I was doing the business, what it was doing for me, how it was helping me. That was when I think my friends were like, oh, okay, maybe this is for real. Maybe it's not, When you do get those potential distributors, what do you typically send them? Usually, it probably depends on each distributor, each person is different, what you would send them. But what, like, is there like a certain call or a video or something specific that you send them to kind of give them like an overview of what we're all about?
Yes, I actually made a video. Again, I make a lot of videos just because for me, that's how I trained myself, was I watch other people on YouTube. So I made this video a couple months ago, and I cover our steps to success. It's about 10 minutes long, but I go over how that was all that I've done, you know, to build up to ambassador. And I talk about how that's what our goal is, but it's not necessarily, we don't have any quota. So it's not like you have to get this every month or you're not a distributor anymore. So I do cover like basic information like that. Then I show them how to go Ruby. So I explain that. So they kind of know. And then when I send them an email, I'll send them that link and have them watch that video, because that video does answer most of their questions. But then I'll say, I explain to them how I only go up to Ruby. But in my email, I'll say how, you know, and honestly, every rank from here on out, if you can build yourself to Ruby, then your job after Ruby is to just help other people go Ruby. Because if you want to go Diamond, you're just helping 3 people go Ruby, if you look at it like that. If you want to go double Diamond, that's just 5 people going Ruby. And so I explain them how if you can just get yourself to Ruby, then you can just help other people get to Ruby. You showed them, or you did it, you can show them how to do it. And so that's what I say in the post, but I sent them that video, and I can send you it if you want to see it. I need to make a better quality one. It's not the best video. It's like in a dark room, but you know,
now it's in your house. Yeah. You'd have your pool in the backdrop.
Yeah. I'm just in my pool explaining the steps to success now.
Yes. So with your team, once you get them started, once you get them going, we all hit those roadblocks where we get a little bit discouraged or, kind of feel stuck. How do you help your team kind of get past those, and how do you keep them motivated and keep them going and pushing hard?
So I have a whole bunch of, I feel like anytime I get discouraged, because you will get discouraged several times in the business, but if you can either have a leader that you look up to and watching their videos, I honestly get inspired a lot by just watching other leaders. I'll have like a really bad day, but if I can somehow get inspired, whether it's reading a book, I love reading books, anything that has to do with network marketing or just being a better self. Doing that, or watching even a 3-minute video from someone. Anytime someone on my team tells me like, I'm just feeling really discouraged right now, I have this huge list of things that have motivated me that I'll send them. You know, if they have something specific, like I just feel like I'm in a funk, then I send them that great Mike Patillo video that's the Jump the Funk. I love that. I watched that when I was a Ruby and I was about to quit. I had sat on my mom's bed. I was like, I'm just not going to do the business anymore. Like, I'm not doing it. Yeah. And my mom was like, why? You're making like $500 a month. Why would you not keep going? And someone on, I think it was the Western Rat page, had posted that video that day. And I was like, I guess I'll watch it. It's not going to do anything. It really changed everything for me. So it went from me literally about to call corporate and cancel my account to I'm going to be Diamond, you know? Yeah. So yeah, I feel like just watching things that can inspire you and motivate you can make all the difference. I saw it happen to me several times, going from I want to quit to, okay, never mind, let's go ambassador now.
And now look where you're at. I think that's so true. I think we all need a little pick-me-up every once in a while, and if you don't, you're like superhuman. So.
Yeah. That's something wrong with
you. Yes. So you and Thomas work this full-time together. What are some, I know that there are, there's a lot of people that are trying to work it with their husbands and trying to figure out, what roles they have. How do you and Thomas work it? I know I've kind of talked to you guys a little bit about before, like you guys kind of have your separate businesses, which I think is kind of cool. You guys both work it. So we kind of tell everybody how you guys do it and what, if there is something that like Thomas is in charge of, if there's something you're in charge of, let us know kind of what you guys do and how you guys make it work.
Yes. So I feel it's so funny because anytime I do like a training, I'm like, I don't feel like I can do it without him because he just brings this whole other side to it. I'm more of like, I just love the wrap and I love some of these products, but he's over here loving the, he knows everything about the supplements. And he knows way more about the business than I do. I just know the steps and I just know where to put people, but he like knows it down to a science. So it's good to work together that way. Now because he's just super into fitness, that's like his thing. He can go up and talk to anyone that has to do with working out, and I would not feel comfortable doing that because I don't know everything, but that's like his thing. So we both print off our steps to success each month. And we challenge each other to see who can do it the most times, because we will make sure no matter what that one of them is done every month. If it comes to the end of the month and we haven't gotten that fourth loyal customer, we'll cancel our date or we'll cancel our plans for the last day, and we will do whatever we can to get that last customer, because we know that if we're doing this, then our team will do it. They're going to look to us as their leaders, and they'll say, well, if I want to be there, if I want to get to where they're at, what are they doing? And they can see, okay, they're doing the steps, so I got to do that. But I'm like going off on a tangent. Now I kind of forgot.
Great.
I know, really, I'm like totally spaced out. I just saw like an eagle soaring right here, and I'm like, oh, that was cool. I forgot what I was saying.
Okay. That's pretty rough.
Maybe another question along with, I know it was like, what does he do? Because he doesn't really have, like, he's not, I know some people's husbands do like mechanical, the behind the scenes stuff. And he does more, he's like a motivational speaker. So I'm like, you have the mic. I don't even want it. You just take it. But yeah.
That's all good. That was a great answer. I love that he does have like that involvement in in your team, and he really is a good like motivational speaker. So I love hearing him talk. What's something, I know you guys post a lot about like you guys out blitzing people. What's your best blitzing tip for people that might be nervous about blitzing or scared to do it? What's your best tip for them?
Okay, so blitzing, that's another thing he's really good at. He can blitz like 1 million people, and all of them will sign up as a customer on the spot. It's insane. I'm more like, here's my blitz card. I still today, I'm like, do you want it? So this is how I blitz people. If I'm typically I'll do it when I can sit down and talk to people. I feel like I just get way more out of it. They actually, like, if you can get some type of interaction, you'll actually get way more of a response, hello, rather than if you just hand out 100 blitz cards and you don't get their information or any of that. So an example, if I'm at the park and I'm around a bunch of moms, I will like sit down next to her and give her a compliment. If you start out a conversation giving someone a compliment, they're immediately gonna, be open to talking to you. Mm-hmm. And so I never really just bring up the business right away, but you can kind of direct a conversation to where you want it to go. So as we're sitting there talking, I'll ask, are you, do you work or are you just a full-time mom, and then she'll ask me that in return. And I usually say, well, yeah, I work, but I'm technically at work right now. I just work off my phone. Yeah. So then she's going to ask, well, what do you do? And then you can pull out your blitz card and show her. But I always will get their contact information, because if you leave it in their hands, it's not going to go anywhere. If you have their contact information, and you can get it from just simply saying, I actually do a wrap drawing every week. Do you want me to enter you in it? I'd love to enter you in it. What's your name, your phone number, and your email or something. And so just get that information from them from that. But Thomas can strike up conversations anywhere. We were in the elevator while he was at his fight in Vegas. And this lady gets in and says how, oh my gosh, I have the worst time sleeping. She's talking to her friend. And Thomas is like eavesdropping, and he's like, oh, have you ever heard of New You? Do you not take New You? Like, she should know what New You is. And she's like, no, what is that? And he's like, I sleep so good. And he's explaining all the benefits of it. Mm-hmm. So we step out of the elevator. We got off with her. And he gets on his phone and he's just reading her stuff about New You. Mm-hmm. He's not even saying, like, I sell it. He's just saying, I use it because he does. Yeah. And this is the benefits I get from it. So within 5 minutes, the lady was a loyal customer. And I'm just like, what the heck? He's 5 people up that day at his fight, and I'm just like, I don't know. I need to learn more lessons from him, because he's just very outgoing. He'll talk to anybody. But we do have a product for everybody. If you can pick up on what people are talking about around you, and you can mention, like, have you ever tried the greens, or have you ever heard of It Works Greens? That is the easiest way to bring it up to people, and just start a good conversation with them. If you can build relationships with people, then that's the most important thing. So
I love that. I think it's super important to build those relationships and not just like all of a sudden make them feel like you're selling them, because I think that's the hardest thing, and I think that's why people don't have success blitzing, because they come across as a salesperson instead of genuinely trying to help them.
Yes.
So one last question for you. What is a piece of advice that you would give to anybody in this business, whether they are on day one or they're in 3 years like me, from distributor to ambassador? What's like one thing that you feel like every distributor should know or remember in this business? What's like your best advice for somebody?
Let me think about this. There's a lot, so let me try to think of like the very best tip. Aside from, we always say like consistency, but really, I was actually just talking to one of my friends that joined the business with me. She was one of my very first distributors. She was my emerald that got me to diamond, and she was like a rock star. But anytime somebody would be negative towards it, it would totally bring her down. She's like, oh, this person said this. I don't know if I can keep doing it. And I'm like, you're almost diamond. You're charted diamond. And she's like, if I would, now we talk all the time, but she's like, if I would have just continued doing what you did, like we did the same thing every day, and I could be at presidential or ambassador right now, but she has since then, she didn't renew her membership, so she's canceled. But she's like, really, it wasn't that hard. It was just doing something daily to grow your business, whether we were doing a wrap party together or it was just posting or responding to people. She's like, there's nothing, I still get on Facebook, I'm still on Instagram, I still do all these things, but I just do it differently. And so she's just like, if I could have just continued doing it for 2 years, where would I be right now? And so, it was kind of interesting to think of it from that way, because really we still hang out almost every day. She's still my best friend. But she's just like, those small little efforts every single day, if you can do something every day that can build your business, where will you be in 2 years? There's no way that you're not going to be at least a diamond. And if it took you 2 years to get to diamond, that's great. Cami Dempsey took her 18 months to get there, and that's after she quit 3 times. So, I love stories like that, because is it worth it? She's a black diamond now. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. If you just keep doing small and simple things, that's what brings success. So I guess there's my tip.
I love that. I think definitely, the daily, and it keeps you motivated too. It's easy to stop working if you haven't done anything for a week or so. So I love that. Anyway, just wanted to thank you so much for joining us this week and for all of your wonderful tips and advice. And again, congratulations on your promotion to ambassador. We're so excited for you, and we're grateful to have you on our team and have such a wonderful leader. So thanks for joining us, and thanks everybody else. We'll see you next week. Yay.